My name is Tiffany. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome, new subscribers. I appreciate you. Um, Guys, uh, this video, I'm going to be talking about transitioning jobs as I am leaving one job, going into another. I realized that might be useful to make a video on kind of like what my process is, what I'm doing. So let's get right to it. So in transitioning jobs, the first thing that you should do is tell your employer that you're going to be accepting another job offer. That would be the first thing. I know when I told my boss, she was um, like, no, and then she wanted feedback as to why, but it's a difficult conversation to have. But be honest. Don't be too honest, but be honest about you leaving. I think that's important, especially if they didn't know that you were going to be even seeking other employment. So I would definitely be like, okay, yeah, I've accepted another job offer. It starts this day. My last day here is this day. Let them know so they can prepare for what they need to do next. In our case, my boss actually had to hire an additional instructor, and she ended up hiring a couple other instructors. I found a replacement for myself. That's not necessary, but she just came up to me and was like, "Hey, what's this about?" And she inquired, and I gave her the information, and she's hired on. So, um, if you have somebody in mind, I'd say sure. Let them know, let your employer know, so hopefully they could reach out to them and hopefully ultimately end up hiring them. Um, but what I will say, like I said, is type any loose ends. Right now, I'm working on some documentation for some projects, for some activities that the kids are going to be doing in the future, and it's important that you document um, what you've been doing, as well as finish up any projects that you have in the work. So like I said, I'm doing the documentation for a couple of projects, and I'll finish that up this week and early into next week because I start my new job next Wednesday. So it's important to do that, as well as um, document, like I mentioned before, document things that you've done. Another thing I'm doing is creating like a report of kind of what's been going on the past couple of weeks. So when the new instructor comes in to teach the classes that I was going to teach, that they kind of have an idea of where it's at. In my case, I'm I'm training two people, about to be three people at the moment. So um, my boss had did some hiring before I said anything about leaving, and then they hired on an additional person. So there's three new people now. So I'm in charge of training them at this time. Luckily, we could all do it in one quick sweep, and I don't have to schedule separate sessions with people. But yeah, I'd say, like I said, type any loose ends, make sure those are done, and then mentally prepare yourself for the next job. I know it's a job trying to leave the one that you're at to get to another one, to transition into another one. So make sure that you're preparing for the next job. Right now, I am I'm going to be using Cold Fusion, which is a programming language. It's an old programming language. It's been around for a while, and honestly, I'm not too excited about it. But after I started looking up some code about it and started physically doing it, I was like, this is actually not that bad, and it's actually kind of cool to learn something new. So I have been looking at Cold Fusion and preparing myself for what's to come with that. I'm also going to be doing some front end things, HTML, CSS, jQuery, which I'm familiar with those things, which is why I wanted to, see how Cold Fusion is, see how I get it onto my computer, and because even that's a process. So, yeah, so don't forget to prepare for your next job. And that may include reaching out and saying, hey, what do I need to prepare for? And, letting them know that, hey, what do I need to know for my first day? Um, those are the tidbits that I have, but I think the main thing is being honest to your employer, making a smooth transition by documenting what you've done. And this is something that I do for any job. I document where I'm at, and I document kind of what needed to be done next, so they know. And then any training that you need to do or something like that, lend your hand with that to help them out with training as well, if you can. In my case, I had a few extra days. I was able to do that. So anyways, those are the tips that I have. That's kind of what I'm going through now, and I actually have to get back to work. So I just came in to kind of share that information with you all, and I hope it helped. Yeah, I hope it's I hope it helps you, and I'm pretty sure that you all are going to be transferring into jobs as well, hopefully as developers soon. So keep coding, keep working, keep searching for that job, guys, and you know, let me know how's your life going below. I'd love to hear what's going on in your life, and hopefully be of some encouragement or be helpful to you. So I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.